All right, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Hawashai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Hawashai, Kalabachin Hawashai, Kalabachin Hawashai, Bachin Hawakadash, double honor to the elder apostle, a great military rule well, and to their citation that I can put to the truth across the four corners of the earth, to the fear and power of Yahweh outside of the hope of elect, and who the world inwardly called God is named Yahweh, and who the world inwardly called Jesus Christ, named Yahweh Shai, or the Hebrew Israelite that comes this, or the so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American Indians, and those in line descendants go back to one of the 12 tribes of Israel due to the scattering amongst the nation. All right, now it's an article on Yahoo. And I have another one on USA Today. But it's the expert warn California of a disaster larger than any in world history. It's not an earthquake. All right, so let's talk about something that could be worse than an earthquake. All right, and it happened before. All right, what's this article go into? And that's where I have another article for about the history of the past. The mega drought may be the main weather concern across the West right now amid the constant threat of wildfire and earthquake. But a new study warned another crisis is looming in California: mega floods. Climate change is increasing the risk of flood that could submerge city and displace millions of people across the state. According to a study released Friday, it stated that an extreme month-long storm could bring feet of rain in some places more than 100 inches to hundreds of miles of California. Similarly, unrelenting storms have happened in the past before the region became home to tens of millions of people. All right. And they try to go into the scientific reason how why these things happen, but ultimately the Lord do these things, okay? And it's prophecies. All right. This is Matthew 24, and let's go straight to the past part, straight to the point, to lock in. Matthew 24 and 7, for nation shall rise against nations, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquake in diverse places. All these are the beginning of sorrows, okay? So all these things are going to come upon the world, all right, upon this earth, okay? But you got Isaiah 29, instead, thou shalt be visited of the Lord, the how about you, I was trying to host with thunder and with earthquake and great noise, with storm and tempest, okay? And the flame of devouring fire, all right? Because the Lord is doing all these things because of the wickedness on this place, especially California, man. Very, very wicked place, all right? This is 2nd Ezra 15 and 9, verse 18, the beginning of sorrow and great mourning, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of war, and the power shall stand in fear, the beginning of evil. What shall I do when these evils shall come? And evil is bad time. All right, behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are extent as scourges for amendments. All right, look at the word plague. All right, disease, huge number of what is that? Death. Okay, yeah. So all these things that come upon of the earth. Okay, but it said, behold, famine and plague, tribulation, and anger. I think of course is right. Intimate to correct you. But for all these things, they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges. All right, and they're not gonna be mindful of the scourges. Okay, the people still gonna continue their wickedness. All right, and you can, along with the flood, make a flood that this article talking about that can happen in California. Okay, it's the claim that such massive statewide flood has occurred every century or two in California over the past millennia, and today's risks of such event has been substantially underestimated. Okay, then long before climate change, California Great Flood of 1852 stretched up to 300 miles long and 50 miles across. That's a pretty wide range area of flood. Okay, and now let's just go to this article, the second part. It's USA Today, a disastrous mega flood and sunny and dry California. It happened before. Okay, it's the read that. It said, though it occurred 150 years ago, the flood deemed a megastorm for its historical rainfall covering huge swaths of the state illustrate that the threat is not merely theoretical. In fact, the UCLA research studying megaflood says such storms typically happen every 100 to 200 years. Researchers are sounding alarmed because floods of that scale today would have far more devastating impact in a state that is now the nation's most populous. And the Great Flood of 1852 was also preceded by drought. It said, how bad was the Great Flood of 1852? Intense rainstorm pummeled Central California virtually unabated. From Christmas Eve 1851 until January 1852, Scientific American chronicled in a 2013 story on the coming megastorm. The flow of water created a huge inland sea, a region at least 300 miles long, leaving Central and Southern California underwater for up to 6 months. The magazine said flood water stretched as wide as 50 miles across, wrote UCLA researchers in their recent flood risk study. All right. It says thousands of farms are entirely underwater, cattle starving and drowning, wrote scientist William Brewer, author of Up and Down California 1860 to 1864, in a letter to his brother cited by Scientific American. All the roads in the middle of the state are impassable, so all mail are cut off. The telegraph also does not work clear through in the Sacramento Valley for some distance. The top of the pole are underwater. An estimated 4,000 people died, and one-third of all property in the state was destroyed, including one-fourth of its 800,000 cattle, which either drowned or starved, wrote the FS Gate news site in a retrospective earlier this year. All right, instead, the region that was underwater in 1852 is now home to many more people than it was then. It's home to some of California's fastest growing cities, including Bakersfield and Sacramento. Back then, the state population was about 500,000, but today it's nearly 40 million. Were a similar event to happen again, part of a city such as Sacramento, the state capital, Stockton, Fresno, and Los Angeles. So Sacramento, Stockton are in Northern California. spreading within like Central California and LA and Southern California. So that's about 300 miles. All right, from LA to Sacramento. Would be underwater even with today's extensive collection of reservoir levees and bypasses. Researchers who work on the flood risk study released Friday said in a press release. All right. So hey, the Lord willing, this happen again. All right, before this America get burned up. All right, because a lot of wickedness is done in the state of California. Okay. So Lord willing, this Bubba Kachad, this happened again. All right. I'm back in the other article. All right. So you want to check the article out? I'll put it in the description link. But yeah, man, these things are coming. All right, upon the world. But hopefully California get flooded out again. All right, because the whole world's not gonna be flood. All right, next time it could be by fire. All right, and that's why the Romans, the rainbow was a token. All right, the covenant that Yahweh had on earth, that he would not flood the whole earth again. All right, anything he wasn't gonna flood any area again, he said he was gonna flood the whole earth again. All right, so that's the covenant that he made. All right, and he gonna abide by that. But this second round, he gonna destroy the world by fire. All right, we'll tell you that in Second Peter. All right, the day fire stored up in the heavens for the day of destruction. All right, which is soon to come. Okay, so that's pretty much it. And I'm in the there, and Lord willing, this happens soon. All right, in the state of California. So with that, Twala Yahweh, Twala Yahweh, Twala Yahweh Shai, Twala Yahweh, Twala Yahweh Shai. With that, Shalom.